You can practice this every day. We'll provide you with the pusiklo, and maybe the first day or the second day, and please do keep the pusiklo properly with you all, and you can practice this at night because knots are something that you don't learn it just in one day because it needs practice. So you practice it, and maybe like by the end of the whole trip, we can see like who is able to make a nut properly because these are like safety nuts. This might not be like these could also come in handy on a day-to-day basis sometimes, but like these are basic safety nuts. So do go through it and practice it. And then we have the expedition schedule. Now, I guess we haven't talked about the expedition schedule, what we'll be going to do, and everything. So tomorrow we'll be leaving. So I hope everyone knows that at 8 sharp we'll leave the hotel. So please don't delay. Be sharp because we have a long way to travel. Like it's a very long drive, maybe almost 6 hours drive, or more than that as well. So just a slight delay may also be difficult for us because it gets dark really fast in the winter, and the road, if we like we have roads here, like we will go up to Basi Sahar, but if we can make it up to Tharapani or Tilche, that would be great because the next day you only have a couple of hours of walk. So
Sorry, I missed it. What time did you say the departure was?
8.
8. Okay.
So all the
Latest
latest
It's an
8.
8.
Please don't be like, late and arrive an hour late. That also applies. That timing also applies for every single day. I mean, during the trekking as well. Please, like keep your pack your bags and make it ready by 7 and come for breakfast by 7 because then we leave at 8. And your day pack will you will carry a day pack, but the duffel bag with your extra luggage will be carried by your porters, and they leave before we leave as well, or they might leave later on, but they don't walk with us because they have a lot of load to carry, so they walk at their own pace. But by 7, I expect everyone to have their bag fully packed and outside their room for the porters to prepare for the journey. So that goes for every single day. So by 8, we will leave wherever we are staying. Uh, Normally, the lunch is at around 11 or 12. Lunchtime. 12, yeah. So 12 to 1, we will do our lunch. Whether if we are walking, maybe in some lodge. If we are in the glacier, if we can come back and go on the glacier, then we'll have the lunch back at the lodge. If not, we'll be provided with a packed lunch. So they will bring us our lunch during the lunchtime and we'll have packed lunch. So if we have the capacity to walk down the glacier, go back to the lodge, have the lunch and come back, then we'll do that. But I guess that would be very time consuming because almost an hour takes by just to go back and forth. So most probably we'll be having packed lunch as well. So yeah, up to Tharapani or Tilche, we'll be driving in a jeep. I guess 4 or 5 jeep will leave from here. So depending on that, road condition now. Road condition after Basi Sahar is quiet. The road is very narrow, and it's pretty dangerous in terms of normal road conditions. But like, don't be scared of. Just enjoy the view because trust your driver. Don't panic because that's how Nepal's roads are gonna be like wherever you go. Uh, Now we will be walking from Tilje to Goa. I think Tilje to Goa is like 2 to 3 hours walk. 2 to 3 hours walk. So prepare yourself mentally. We might do some kind of safety training at Goa if we have time, and if it's not dark. If we reach there pretty early and we have good enough daylight, then we might do some safety training there, not practices, or if our mountain guide plans and if we see a feasible place where we can maybe rope and teach you how to, walk there. If not, that will leave for Bhutan. Goa and Bintang is going to be 6 to 7 hours of trek. So from 1 to 2 hours straight up, you will be walking for 6 to 7 hours. There will be a break of an hour or so in between for lunch. Now, I would suggest you guys to walk at your own pace. Like, it's not a race. We're not going to go there for a race. Walk in teams. I mean, not everyone can walk together in a line, but if you're walking there, please do walk in teams. Like, at least have a buddy with you to walk. Don't walk pretty fast because we are gaining altitude, and even like after 3,000, there might be chances of altitude sickness for people who have not been at high altitude, and even for people who have been in high altitude. So please walk at your own pace. Drink lots of water. That does not mean you are gonna gulp down your water in one go. Take sips of water and drink it like that. Hydrate yourself. Take oral hydration if you need it, but then hydrate yourself. So it is gonna be a 7 hour walk. Hopefully by 7 hours we'll reach Queenstown. If not, if we are going much slower than that, maybe before it gets dark. So we'll be staying in lodge at Bintang. Now, along the way, we can see the glacier and other features. You can see in this map here we have provided like this. In this one, it's not pretty clear. Maybe in the other one it might be, but then we can see other glacier on the other side, which is not accessible, but like it's in a completely different watershed region. But you can see stark difference in the glacier and the tree line as well. So please, you can notice those things there and see like what you have noticed and recorded maybe in your in a form of video or photo or a written note as well. That is also going to help. Well, before we move on with the further other days, like along the way in Tharapani, Jakarta, Goa, we have a couple of precipitation stations, which was established by Khatmandu University. And yeah, I will be downloading some of the data from these stations. So I can demonstrate how I download data from these stations for you guys. So maybe one group can see it, in the next group can see it in a management way. And even in Goa, it's near maybe the lodge we will be staying might be nearby there. So we can see that as well. So there is another one above Bintang. This will be along the way when we go to the Punkadi. So these are the couple of meteorological stations across the valley. You can see the rain gauges. These are the rain gauges that are installed. And at Bintang, there is a automatic weather station with other sensors in it, maybe temperature, wind speed, so you can see what a weather station looks like. And there is another weather station, which is a Campbell weather station. That one I will not be downloading any data from, which is on the glacier. So we'll try to reach up to that station and see like whether it is there or not. I mean, it's not washed away, but it might have fallen down and all that stuff.
Is that an ICIMOD station or is that
No,
KU?
no. All the stations at Cohort is from KU.
Okay.
So because they took the initiative to, start the mission in Cohort, so we have been monitoring it for quite some time from 2016. So
15 November,
15 November.
and even here we joined together. Okay, 2016, 18, 20, 22, and 24. Even here, KU and ICIMOD. But this time, ICIMOD is leading.
So along the way, you can see all the features and everything, and then there will be like downloading of data and all that. But then our activity starts when we reach Bintang, not on the day we reach Bintang because it might be too late. But the next day we will be going on the glacier. Now, going on the glacier, we'll have to cross the moraine just to get on the glacier. It might take up to an hour, as I said earlier. So you can, from there, you can start, looking at the features. Now, what are the plans that I have for the glacier? One is we'll walk up to AWS station that is on the glacier. Now there I have plans of drilling tool, a hole there so that you can put up your stakes there. If we can spot some previous stakes on the glacier, that would be great. But I mean, I'm not positive on seeing any stakes on the glacier. Maybe we can spot some fallen stakes, but let's see, because spotting a stake on a debris-covered glacier is pretty difficult compared to clean ice glacier. Clean ice glacier, you can spot it. In a debris-covered glacier, it's all rocks. Like rocks are almost the size of the stakes as well. So it's very difficult to spot it. So it will somehow turn into treasure hunt. But then I wouldn't suggest you guys to go every direction to search for a stick because every covered glacier are pretty unstable in terms of the rocks. Like the rocks might be unstable, so it will take some time for you guys to get used to walking on the rocks as well. So that is one of the activity we'll be doing there on the glacier. So we'll be drilling a hole, however much we can do that. And then, like, if possible, we'll put up stakes as well. Now, Sarji, he will explain you how to carve a stake because carving a stake is very important if you are when you're doing a glacier monitoring because the next year you come, you need to know when the stake was put there, right? And which segment of the stake is now there. Like because if we put three stakes, we have to know like is it the first segment, is it the second segment, or the third segment? In that way, we can measure how much ice has melted up. So that is the plan, and if possible, we will do some roping and glacier walk. Not on the glacier because walking with the ropes on the debris covered glacier would be very difficult and it will tangle up a lot. So I don't want to take that risk of safety there. So maybe along the moraine or in an open ground in Bintang, maybe like teach you guys how to put on a crampon, even though we have only taken two crampons there. So at least like you guys know what a crampon looks like, what it's, how we are supposed to wear it, because walking on a crampon on the ground is going to be pretty different from walking with a crampon on an ice or snow, right? So since there's no snow there, it is a very dry place, so that is the best kind of experience we can give it to you. How to put on a harness, your nut practices as well, and safety nuts, how it's used, what kind of safety nuts is used in what kind of situation. So if we can manage time, so it all depends on how we manage time and by what time we try to finish the work. We will try to go on the glacier in the morning because after 10 or 11, the clouds they start going up the mountain. So you won't be like it will cover the whole glacier. So visibility will be pretty low, and I don't want a huge group of people on the glacier with very low visibility. So let's hope for the best. Then now that is also like an acclimatization day for us because the glacier is at around 3,700 meters. So a good acclimatization day as well because the next day we'll be sleeping at 4,100. So there's a stark difference in altitude as well. So the next day activity on the glacier lake. Now to reach a glacier lake, we have to walk up a moraine and then go down to reach a glacier lake, and there is a very open space where we can camp. On this day, you can spot crevices from the moraine, which now, like you will see stark difference, like how a crevice looks from on the glacier and from above the glacier, and how dangerous it can be as well. So that is a very good way to observe things there. And yes, along the way, there is also one station. So I'll be downloading data from that one station as well. Maybe that day, or if I have time, maybe before that day. Depends on the battery status of my laptop as well. So now the activity for the glacier lake. I have planned for you guys to put up your tent by yourself. So put up your tent, like how to set up a tent, how to like fix the mats and everything. Because putting up a tent might look easier, but if you have never put up a tent, then you know how difficult it is, like where to put the where to put the rope from, like everything. So our porters or our mountain guides, they will be there to assist you, but you guys will have to put up your own tents. Maybe like if you're maybe 2 person, 1 tent. So if that is the case, then you can work in teams to put up a tent. Now you can another content for video as well would be interesting would be the chaos that would be within how to put up a tent, like different groups working in like different chaotic way. So ideas for you guys to come up with different ideas to work on content as well. A very beautiful place the lake is, and you can take lots of pictures there. And yeah, I forgot about one thing. We will be measuring the temperature of debris and ice on the glacier as well using a pretty simple device, infrared thermometer, and of course measure the thickness of the glacier as well when we are trying to drill up in there. So we have very few activities at Glacier Lake, so you can also come up with their own plans on what you want to do. We don't have much instrument to work on at the glacial lake, so you can. I think the best way to observe things would be, record what the glacial lake looks like what, how is it different from the water turbidity, how is it different from what you see along the way, how is it different from the river water. I mean, is it clear? Is it very turbid? Does it look like the sediment is pretty high? Where do you think the water is coming from as well in the lake, like the inlet of the lake? So that is it. So that night we'll be camping there. And as for dinner, our logistical staff, they will bring us the dinner. Hopefully, I think that day it will be a pretty light dinner because we won't be going back to the lodge to have dinner. So pretty light dinner on that day. So then the next day we'll go around the lake, walk around the lake, and from there maybe see the features of the uh, other branch of the glacier which we want to go on. So you know that Konkan has 3 branches, right? One we cannot see at all. I mean, we might be able to see it, but it's not possible for us to go to
The
the
third
one
one,
on this side, like this
like
one.
the number three,
Uh, yes.
like
So I mean, it's not Konkan glacier in itself, but like there are 3 branches here. You can see.
yeah,
So since we'll won't be going to this lake, we'll be going to this lake. We
Yeah.
have a good place to
Okay.
camp over here. We'll go around and
Hmm.
we can see this glacier. And from there, hopefully we can spot what a clean ice glacier looks like. Because it's like maybe this one, and if
Hmm.
from this view, maybe that one, then that would be a very good way for you guys to see like what a clean ice glacier looks like. Even though you guys might not be able to go up there. There might be a route, but going up there is not in our itinerary, so let's not go into that. So we'll go around the glacier, might take up to, I mean, the lake will take up to 1.5 hours or more than that. And then after that, we'll move down. We'll move down, and so how many of you guys would want to camp there? I want you all to camp there at Bhutan. So it will be easier than camping at Glacier Lake. So 2 different camping spots, 2 different experiences. Because then at Bintang you won't have to go for search for toilets. Another thing is that I think our logistical staff will put up a toilet tent. So normally when we are camping, we just don't go around doing defecating or urinating wherever we want because they have a designated toilet tent. You go there and urinate and defecate there. So that would also be different at Bintang because in Bintang we just camp on an open ground, but there will be lodge there. So, uh, of course, dinner would be in the lodge. So, not packed dinner this time around. And yeah, I think it will take up almost our whole day, going around the lake and getting down in Bintang and then setting up a camp there and staying there. And then like maybe we have some other like comms work from Shinidi, she will guide you there and because it would be less strenuous that day, so we can work on the comms perspective, maybe record videos and send it here back in Kathmandu, if we have the internet connection and if we have the ability to power our phones and all that. Now, now the downhill walk starts. You might think getting uphill is pretty difficult. Downhill is more difficult. Take care of your ankles, your knees. Use your toes if as much as possible. Don't run down because it seems easier when you run down, but the next day you won't be able to walk at all. Your legs will turn into a jelly. So be careful of that. And then like now some ideas that I have. Like now going up, you will be looking forward to many things. Going down with the new knowledge, you have a completely different way of looking at the perspective. So you can like write about it, what it was like going up, and now looking at everything, what it feels like going down. And then maybe have some fun down because downhill is not so rushed as well because we will eventually reach our destination. So yeah, night times you can do your nut practices. If someone can take your cards with themselves, we can play cards. Other fun activities, anyone has anything, maybe someone can sing for us, dance for us. If you have a good playlist, play the music and dance. Yeah, I think the last day at Basic Sahar, Tharapani, or wherever we are gonna stay would be like a fun night for us to enjoy and share our knowledge, and of course, a strenuous night for you guys as well, because the next day you'll have to present as well. So do plan accordingly. Yes, but then on the way down, I forgot about that. From Bhutan, while going down to Goa, um, we will be doing area velocity measurement using area velocity measurement in this river downstream. Wherever it is very shallow, we don't have the equipment to go at a very deeper river. So we only have one equipment, so you have to take turns to work with it. So maybe two groups can work with it because time is also, we need to make sure like we finish everything within time and then go down to Goa as well. And salt dilution method for sensitivity measurement and conductivity. So those two are the plans for when we are going downstream for the river measurement. So I'm telling you all of this because you can plan your projects with whatever information you can gather from these as well, because we have very few equipments that we are taking on our trip, because of course taking a lot of equipment is going to be difficult, and this is not a research field work, right? This is much more of for you guys to go and see what it feels like to be on the glacier firsthand, what your experiences would be, and then understand like how research is important and how this will help you in guiding your further research as well. So these are the equipments we have, and you can base your work along that. And if not, also to observation and other stuff as well. So since I'm telling you this because now the next session is on you guys for talking about discussing about what kind of projects you can come up with and everything. So yes, I hope this will be pretty helpful. And yeah, moving on with this, we have the some relevant coordinates of the states that were put up by different university previously in 2022. Um, Hopefully we can go up to state 4. I'm not sure. The AWS on Glacier is somewhere around state 3. So we'll try to go up to that. State 4, we'll see, looking at the situation on Glacier. The other coordinates are for the rain gauge with temperature sensor and AWS network along the valley as well as on and off the glacier. So we will also give you GPS, so that would be helpful for you guys to locate as well. So if you find any other features that you think is something that you can record or note, and if you want to record the GPS coordinate of that feature, then that is also very good for you to use the GPS that we have, and it is pretty forget the face of your expedition members, you have to have some. I mean, what if someone gets lost and you forget, somehow you forget the face?
I would ask the porters to see this person.
Yes, because then you want, hopefully, but you won't be looking like this in the field, covered with all your gear. So maybe we can take some pictures in the field and see how we look like in the field and how different it is from our usual photographs. But these are just for like other our guides as well, and also for our ICIMOD here, like based here to know who is who in case of emergency situation. Just a topographical map, which might be helpful. Now, something interesting, geomorphological map of Uber Glacier. You can go through it and see what kind of geomorphological structures that you can notice it and how it actually looks like in the field. And we can talk more about the geomorphology with whatever knowledge I have. And hopefully Miriam will be put in the spotlight to give more information on this, but I will try to go through it as much as possible. Now, this one was developed by Neil and his team when we visited in Pokhara in 2019. So it was from that visit, and you can go through it to see what is located where, and when you go on the field, you can notice those features. Yes, another helpful map with our station locations and emergency and useful telephone numbers. So we will be taking a satellite phone with us. I will be functioning the satellite phone. We normally contact our security head here at ICIMOD from this time at 1800 to 1900 p.m. because that is the only time when we will be, I will be, switching on the sat phone because conserving battery is of utmost importance when we are in the field because then if we lose the battery of a sat phone, there is no way we can communicate about any kind of situation happening there in the field. Thankfully, we have Nepal Telecom Tower at Intang, so it's easier for us to communicate. But maybe when we are in the lake, we might not have any connection, so that would be useful. We'll be taking walkie-talkie, so walkie-talkie is helpful for us to have connection with our logistical staff who might not be going with us everywhere. So for our food and other important stuff that we might need, we'll be communicating with them with the walkie-talkie. So our first contact here at ICIMOD will be Damarji, who is our security head, and everything and anything related to security and emergency will be informed to him first because it's always important to have a first person to contact because then the information will flow smoothly instead of everyone trying to contact everyone and trying to solve the problem. We just go through him. And for weather forecast, we'll be receiving information from my colleague Prashant. And we, all of you are under a medical insurance, and for that, you guys are part of global rescue as well. So if we need helicopter rescue, then it will be under global rescue. And any information that is required for evacuation is highlighted there. Hopefully, this might not be in use because Pokhara is relatively in a very low altitude, but these are normal formats that we follow whenever we go to a field because Pokhara doesn't, just because Pokhara is at a very high altitude doesn't mean we should not follow these protocols. So these are the basic protocols. So if you have any problems related to any health, another suggestion or another very important thing I would like to say is if you have any problems, do let me, Trinity or Chimidi know because it's very important for us to know what your situations are like. If you have even a slight headache, please let us know because then we have Dr. Soni with us, who will be going to the field with us. So she will be, looking after you guys, with looking after your health. And this is also a very good way for you guys to learn about a little bit about medicine so that in the future you guys can work with those knowledge and go in the field by yourself because now we are here to assist you. We might not be there to assist you in the future. So it's more of an empowering you as well, like learning about what medicine helps, what does not. So if you have any queries about that, of course, we will be received as well. So yeah, that's all. Like we have other useful telephone numbers for like small stuff, then our partners, our trekking agency, and paramedics and doctors and helicopter rescue and everything. So basically, that is what is in the field guide. So if you have any questions regarding this, let me know.
Can you also email this to us or to
Yes,
me anyway?
sure.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Regardless of our groups, we will be using the instruments.
Yes, I mean, I will be training you on how to use the instrument, and then like make a group at least, depending on how much time we have, because you also have to put in the time factor because we have to get down and reach up to Goa that same day as well. So if we can only work with one group, then one group. If not, if we can work with two groups, then we'll be working with two groups too.